Game with the 50-50. Game with the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, now let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band. Hey, what time is it? It's in the afternoon. Gotta lean to the right, then you lean to your left. Y'all, it's been a long time since I've been live, right? But I didn't forget about y'all. I've still been doing my pre-recording. Well, today everybody was up in the uproar. They were saying, stay home, black people, stay home. This is not our fight. Y'all just not catching up with me. Malcolm X was saying that way back in the 60s. Y'all sit y'all black butt home, right? In the 60s, when we used to come out and fight for everybody, you had to fight for all the people of color you were fighting for, right? And then when we got the Civil Rights Acts passed, they the one benefited for all the programs that we were fighting for back in the day. Well, today there is one community called Lincoln Heights, Ohio, right? Lincoln Heights, Ohio, the neo-Nazis and the KKK came there to take over that community, you guys. But they were armed. They met them with arm, and it's no more. We would not have another Black Wall Street, y'all. Another Rosewood. Or the way I saw down there in Bessemer, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, all them southern states, or we would not have another any of those kinds of things where y'all could come in and pull us out the house our loved one at the house and do like y'all did Emmett Till. Y'all remember Emmett Till? They went in that man's house and pulled that little boy out. A few Caucasian. That's not going to happen anymore. It's never going to happen in this country anymore. Not with black people. But we've been saying that. And then we got what is it? The on the Real Housewife of Atlanta. Y'all do know that what's her name was suspended. Y'all, once I looked at the Real Housewife of Atlanta, and you show why Kenya had this animosity towards Britt, it almost don't feel like it's fair that Kenya was the one that was is Kenya been suspended, y'all, or is she gone for good, right? Because if we looked at that I don't know if y'all with the here go Kenya. Let me put Kenya up here, y'all. I don't know if y'all looked at that with Kenya Moore, right? Kenya Moore was demoted. She's just a friend of the show, right? And they said that she did some revenge poems. She showed that young lady named Britt in a uncompromising position. But then we look at what happened at the show. Kenya was at that table with them, and they were just having a great conversation at the table. And Kenya Moore called Britt a peasant or something because the young lady just needed a moment. For some reason, she probably felt like, I'm going to go for the star. That way I can secure my position on this show. But I didn't know that at the time what she had did. We did see what she had threatened Kenya with a pow pow. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that deep. Kenya was paying her dust. She was doing all she can to provoke Kenya. But Kenya being the OG she knew what to do. She said one thing. She called her a peasant and then played her dust after that. So why wasn't Britt, the newcomer, suspended too? Why is it only Kenya was the only one had to be accountable? All right, what about Angie Stone? I'm just getting y'all a review of Angie Stone. Y'all, there's some tea in here about Angie Stone assistant. They're saying that she was giving Angie herbs, right? They want to know what was in those herbs. Why did Angie come out with this blood infection? Angie said she almost died. And Mr. Paxson, I don't know if y'all know who that is. He's one of Angie's buddies. Let me tell y'all. Mr. Paxson. We're going to start off with Mr. Paxson. There he go. He's one of Angie's buddy that Angie finally contacted and said, look, I need help. I need you to find out what done happened to my publishing, all my royalties and my publishing. Well, he don't hesitate to talk about that young lady. There's a young lady by the name of Shauna. Her name was Shauna, y'all. Shauna Shale. She just appeared on the scene with Angie, right? She started living with Angie, you guys. Nobody don't know where she come from, but they always suspected that girl with being around Angie Stone, you guys. So Mr. Paxson said that this girl called him while they were in the hospital, right after everybody know what happened to Angie. Said she called him, I think she was in the hospital, and was upset that the driver brought the girlfriend there. She was not upset the fact that Angie had passed or whatever, but she was upset that Mr. Paxson said she was upset because Angie, the driver, had brought his girlfriend there. Now, according to Mr. Paxson, he don't know. It just sounds like the girl was upset. Maybe she had something going on with it. Let me see if I can find it, you guys. Yeah, he's talking now. He said that he did all these videos on Angie. He's trying to keep her name out there, you guys. What happened to Angie Stone? This thing bothering me. Angie Stone's spirit just bothering me. What happened to this woman? Now we do know that she did not die, and that she didn't die in that truck like they said. There was one white lady that was talking about how she came along and helped Angie. Said she was comforting Angie, holding her hands or something, sitting outside on that grass in the middle, whatever you call that was, and that a big old truck came. Now check this out. A big old truck came, and I guess she's trying to say that the truck hit Angie. Now, if she's sitting there holding Angie's hands and talking and comforting Angie, why didn't the truck get her? Why she just had a little scratch on her head, and then she gonna say, well, then I had to run and check on my daughter. For what is 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning or what have you. Y'all, it just don't make no sense. Who was that white woman? Who was she? Who sent her? If Angie got hit by that big old truck while they was sitting in the middle of the lawn, why didn't she get, what happened to her? Why did she escape? Why did she get hit? This is just my thoughts. But let me just see if I can find this, what Mr. Paxson is saying about Angie's assistant. He said, take a look at this assistant that was all of a sudden started living with Angie. Said she did everything, all any kind of videos you see, she behind it. But he said Angie was saying that the girl was feeding her herbs. Some kind of herbs she was mixing up her to make her feel better. But we do know it didn't make Angie feel better. Angie ended up in the hospital almost dead. He said, Mr. Paxson said the girl is messy. Here she is, y'all. I don't know. I'm just repeating what I heard. And Mr. Paxson, I know you don't like nobody to misquote you, so I'm going to put your words up there. That's her. Her name is, said her name is Miss Shell. Her last, Shauna Shell. She was Angie lived in assistance. Said she was messy. Nobody know where she come from, but all of a sudden she living with Angie. Still living in a house, he said. But the thing about it, she called him right during the hospital while they were in the hospital, and still talking about Angie. She was fussing about the driver bought his girlfriend. Had his girlfriend with him. He said he thought that was strange because if Angie just died and y'all everybody at the hospital, why aren't you talking about Angie? Why isn't you upset with this man's girlfriend? The driver girlfriend is there. She's the girl behind the camera, he says. Anytime you see any type of video, whatever lately, she is the one videoing Angie. Says she messy. You ever had a type of friend to come in, you've been friends with somebody for 50 years, and somebody come in, you've been friends with them 1 month, they done start a shit between you and your long-term decade friends. He said that's how she was. She was starting friends, shit starting with all Angie friends. Long-term friends starting shit. I'm just saying what he said. Let me put his voice on it because I don't want him mad at me because he already told us he don't mind us doing his content, but just make sure we get the stuff accurate. So I'm going to put his voice up here. This is Mr. Paxson, y'all.
Just do your job. You guys get on top of your job. Research this young lady. Excuse me.
I'm going to go back a little bit where I want to start where he's talking
about friends I've ever even spoken to. Let me just say that first. I've never even spoken to.
So he's talking about everybody when he first came out, and he was mentioning no name. There was some twins. Those twins is the only one that came forth since the accident. The twins that was in that van with him. So everybody thought that he was talking about the twins was the one giving Angie these herbs and that he felt like was not good, that was shady when it come to Angie and living with her. But no, it's not the twin. It's this young lady right here. Let me show y'all again. Her name is Shauna Shell. That's who he's talking about. Now put him up here. Now I'm putting his words up there because he already told us he don't mind us using his content. Just make sure we get it accurate. So I'm gonna put his words up here.
First, so the person that I spoke to that morning at the hospital, you guys, this light is in my way. Person that I spoke to that morning that is in the circle of people that are right amongst Angie and that has been is a lady by the name of Shayna Shell. She goes by Queen Shayna Bonche online, Queen Shayna Bonche, Shayna Shells, and she sings. She's not really an artist, but I guess she wants to be an artist. She has a company called Sacred Sound. So this is the young lady that Angie entrusted to handle her inner business. This is the lady that was going back and forth with the Chester guy, okay, as far as when it came to the coding. But understand this. This lady is very messy. She's right in the middle. And I don't care what nobody says, and I will continue to say this. We had several conversations where Mike really trusts her. He really believes in this girl, her word value. But the truth is how many people even know this girl's history? We don't know anything about where she's from. When I remember speaking with her from the beginning and I was asking her where she's from, she said she came from New Mexico, right? Or Mexico or New Mexico, one of them. I think it was Mexico. She came from Mexico. So I was just curious, like she come all the way from Mexico, and she let her move into her house, and she's still living there. Now, why am I bringing her name up now, you ask? It's because people kept saying, hey, you never mentioned the person in the hospital. And then people kept saying it was one of the twins. It was not one of the twins. Neither one of those twins I've ever even spoken to. Let me just say that first. I've never even spoken to any one of those twins. I personally don't know the twins. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. Now, the reason why I take pauses when I'm talking, I look to the left or right, is because I'm making sure that I am analyzing everything I say so that I don't say something wrong. I like to be exact and as a matter of fact as possible. So that's the reason I will look this way and that way for those that like to do their forensic investigation as to why does he look this way and why does he look that way. That's the reason. Smart people think before they say certain stuff, okay? Smart people think before they say certain things, and we can kind of just, we'll get to that smart people think before they say certain things conversation in a minute. But this girl is very messy, and when I tell you that she's very messy, she's very calculated. You ever meet those people that you'll have friendships with your friends and a new friend will come around and that friend will actually turn you against your longtime friend and then your longtime friend against you. This is how this girl operates. And quote unquote, I say it again. This is how she operates. So that morning when she called me, that was the person that was freaking out about the driver. She was freaking out about the fact that he brought his girlfriend, that his girlfriend showed up at the hospital. She was very, very adamant and upset about that. And she expressed that to me. In the middle of this situation with Angie passing, she wanted to talk about that. So that's who the girl is. For all those that wanted to know, say a name. There you go, there's the name. Now, what are you going to do with that name? Now that I've told you, what are you going to do with that name? So this is what I suggest you do. You guys need to go, her name is Shayna Shells, Shayna Bonche, aka Shayna Bonche, her company is Sacred Sound. Why don't you go and do research and find out about her? Find out where she was before she came to live with Angie. She said Mexico. Find out her history. Find out, the kind of people she dealt with before that. I mean, if you guys want to be investigators, I feel like I've done my job. I've done exactly what I wanted to do. I sparked that conversation by springing and.
So Mr. Paxson is instrumental in this case because he is the one that was in contact with Angie. Yeah, he's the one, Mr. Paxson, and that young lady called him. He said, y'all heard what he said. Who is this young lady? What was she doing in Angie's life, right? So that this thing about Angie bothers me, you guys. Let me do house rules before we get into every day. I say Angie's spirit just be coming to me. Angie, okay, I'm gonna go live, Angie. This is what I'm saying. But let me just go ahead on and do this, you guys. The copyright. Yeah, under the copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of this. And y'all know everything is just allegedly. Just allegedly, right? From the rising of the sun to the going down of it, Black Titanic, which each and every one of you blessings, encouragement, and success. Yes. So let me just say hi to you guys over here. Hi, Miss Cece. Yes, glad to see you guys. Miss Cece, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Queen Liz. Hi, welcome, Queen Liz. Sharon, welcome, Sharon. So what you say, Cece? She say, hi, Miss Earth Journey, officially Black Titanic, and everyone. Yes, hello, you guys. So we're going to talk about, oh, Miss B. Jackson is here too. So we're going to talk about, today going to be a little bit about politics, you guys. Y'all going to learn a little bit more about me. Y'all know that the Black community came out, Lincoln Heights. Y'all remember that? Because the neo-Nazi and the KKK came down through that community, you guys. God knows they had to protect themselves. God knows what they would have did if the Black community wouldn't have came out there armed like that. We'll learn our lesson. We learn our lesson how they would just come in and do what they want to do with us. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Did y'all know I was a victim? I almost escaped lynching when I was a little girl. Yeah, I sit there and watch my friend be lynched. Something was going on in the Black community, right? Now, down there in Bessemer, where I'm from, y'all know Wanda Moore's from Bessemer also. Wanda was probably, might not have been born yet, or might be too young to remember this. But down there in Bessemer, it was full of Ku Klux Klans. But they always would run around there with the little white sheets all over their head, chasing you, trying to delete you, trying to hang you. But this particular day, something had happened in the Black community. Now, my grandfather and a whole lot of Blacks was down there. They would protect the community. They would protect us, and there was a lot of them down there in the South. I don't know if y'all know about a deacon of defense. They were deacons, but they were armed deacons. They would protect us, protect the community. But anyway, something had happened, and my grandfather told me to stay in the house, right? My sister, God bless her soul, she about 103 now. She's still living, y'all. I need to bring her on here so she can tell y'all some good history. But anyway, my sister he left my older sister, the babysitter. At the time, she was in Dunbar High School. Anybody from Bessemer remember Dunbar High School? I think they done tore that down. And I was going to Charles Harding Elementary School at that time, down there in Bessemer. So my friend and I, when my sister boyfriend came over, she let me went outside. Oh God, I was happy, and I went and got my friend too. So we were in the cornfield, y'all, and we stumbled up on the Ku Klux Klans. Man, they had their robes on, but hadn't put the hood over their head yet. Now we little kids. They saw us. We stuck up and right, and they caught Rosalie. They caught both of us now. They caught my little friend. And they caught me, but my dog Ben bit it. Now Ben was a girl, y'all, but her name was Ben. I don't know why I named her Ben, but that's all it was. bit the one that had me, and I took off running. And I'm used to back there in that field, nothing but pecan trees. I always used to climb to the top of the tree to get the best peaches, and that's what saved my life. I climbed up that tree, y'all, to the top of the tree. Peach tree was. I mean, some big old juicy fruits up there too. But unfortunately, my friend didn't make it. I sit there and watch what they did to her. Y'all can figure out what they did to her. And then when they got finished with her, they her throat and hunger. I sat up there and I had to watch that in horror. I sat up there and I could hear them looking for me. Where that little end at? I'm gonna find that little end, talking about what they were gonna do to me when they find me. And I was looking at them. I was at the top of the tree looking at them and shaking, y'all, just shaking. And I wanted to come down and help my friend, but I was too scared. Of course, I'm just a baby. I think I was like about 7 years old. And then some said, don't go down there, don't go down there. And y'all know they did. They shot my little dog, Ben. Well, nighttime came. You could hear the whole community looking for me, searching for me. Now, I had been about 30 minutes. I heard them, but I still was scared. But I didn't feel safe till I saw my grandparents. My mama and my grandparents, they came, that's when I came down from that tree. Afterwards, you guys, I'm giving y'all a history. This is Black history. Afterwards, you guys, I told my grandfather and I told all the men in the communities down there in Bessemer who it was. Now, look, it was an alley separating the Black community from the white community. I've always seen them men in the community back there. And I told who it was, and y'all know they deleted those. They deleted all the men, at least 3 of them, my grandfather now. So we had to run up north. We ran to Detroit, Michigan. That's how I got to Detroit. So now we're going to talk about how, I'm going to show y'all the first video, y'all. Now, when I got to Detroit, they were fighting up there. All the fighters was up there. Because most of the time, if you had deleted one of them Ku Klux Klansmen, you had to run because, the sheriff, the whole, everybody coming for you and your family. So that's why we left Bessemer. I ain't been back to Bessemer since, y'all. I ain't been back. In Huntsville, I think Huntsville about an hour from Bessemer. That I can't stand it because I have those memories. I'm traumatized by the Ku Klux Klansmen. I'm traumatized by what happened to my friend. All right, I'm gonna put this through right here. This is Lincoln Heights. Now, Lincoln Heights is in Ohio. Ohio have always had a history of fighting back. Do y'all know that they're gonna credit that to Martin Luther King? That we shall overcome and turn the other cheek to Martin Luther King, but it really was the muscles behind the civil rights movement, like the Black Panthers, the Black Nationalists, the Deacon of Defense, the Nationalists of Libya, all these power groups that was fighting the system, with real weapons, but they would never show y'all. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this through, you guys. All right, this is I don't know which one I'm putting through, but they coming through there, you guys. How is everybody good? It's just so glad to see you guys, y'all. I miss y'all. When I don't come live, I be missing you guys. Yeah. So you guys know that Black community has always fought back. Fortunately, that's the community I came from. Cleveland, Ohio, especially. Detroit, Michigan, especially. All always have fought back all across the United States. But this is it. Black community in Ohio won safety and watch program after neo-Nazi rally. Now that's what we did not long ago on Stone Mountain, right? When they had neo-Nazi white supremacists threatening the black community in Stone Mountain, and that was in 2020 with Grandmaster Jack. Let's just listen at this, and then I'll give y'all a history of the riots.
Turn now to one community in Ohio, which is now the center of a growing national debate about civil rights, hate speech, and the Second Amendment. NBC News correspondent and NBC News Now daily anchor Morgan Radford visited the town of Lincoln Heights, where residents have formed an armed community defense group in the wake of a neo-Nazi rally. Morgan joins us now. You were there just on Tuesday. What did the residents tell you about what's going on?
Yeah, I was there just this week. John, it was fascinating because what's interesting is that this town was founded during the Great Migration back in the 20s as a refuge for Black citizens, which is why it was especially painful when neo-Nazis suddenly appeared in this 3,000-person majority Black town. But they decided to fight back, taking up arms and patrolling their own streets. Now they're at the center of a much larger debate about protection and free speech and who gets it. These aren't police officers or soldiers.
They're business owners, the fathers, the sons, daughters.
These are civilians, members of the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program. It's a duty. Okay, let's go. The duty, protecting their neighborhood, the majority Black village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. After neo-Nazis held a rally here last month, carrying rifles, waving swastikas, and hurling racial slurs, just moments before children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing. Weeks later, the KKK came with these flyers.
First African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line of sight.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durance Daniels says the police did not do enough, which was more chilling because the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for Black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home. If somebody broke into your home, you call the police, and the police says, if they do it again, we haven't broken any laws, so we're just going to allow them to break into your home again. What would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
That's what happened to Black Wall Street, young lady. It was a whole lot of Black Wall Street where they were not allowed to carry weapons, right? So they were able to come in there and destroy a whole town, you guys. Millions and millions of our people have been deleted because of attitudes like that. Well, we're not going to protect ourselves. They come in here and do it like I did Emmett Till, just come in here and just drag your loved ones out the house. And it's okay because you do not want to offend them. Let's just keep it going.
Sure.
I'll answer that by saying I've never felt safer as a Black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that day, said in a statement to NBC News, "Our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injuries to any of the persons involved." But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch Group escorts children to school and patrols the streets. Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds or so.
So you guys, right there in Bessemer, we had that in our community on Extra Avenue, you guys. That was one of the reasons why my family and a whole lot of other Black family in Bessemer survived because they protected themselves down there. And I don't know if Wanda too young to remember that because she is from Bessemer. But, I can remember protecting our community down there. My grandfathers and other Blacks down there in Bessemer protecting the community, yes.
Not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we protecting our family for what we're doing out here.
While many locals do support the security,
So 1 year later, I was sent to Ohio. Now, Ohio have always been a community of fighters. Let's look at Fred Ahmed, okay? The past reflect the future, right? I wrote this in 2020. The Glenville shootout, July the 23rd, 1968. Now, my family have left Detroit, and now we in a community of, well, once again, all the fighters are at. Unsung heroes, all of you know Malcolm X, but not Fred Ahmed Evans. He served in the Korean War and recruited all of the expert in military training allies to come and train the resident of Cleveland, Ohio in military-style use of weapons and fighting. We all had to be trained, even the young people, and how to make explosives as well as to protect the Cleveland, Ohio hoods from the continued use of police brutalities and murder. Now, what happened to certain things that be going on in the community today should never happen? Like Mike Brown? One clear person coming in the community and take out your brother, and all y'all do is take out your cameras and record. It would have never happened in my community. But the Glenville city area resident eyes was everywhere. And then it happened, where Esau, cops, entered the community and attacked a black man. And the resident ambushed the police, and gunfire engulfed the African-American neighborhood of Glenville and the east side of Cleveland. The gunfire was between the police department and the residents and the Ku Klux Klansmen. The Black Nationalists of New Libya is what Mr. Fred Ahmed was, the New Libya, the Black Nationalists of New Libya. He was the leader. Exchanged shots with the Cleveland Police Department from apartments, roofs, and homes. By the end of the 3 days, 7 men had been killed and many police officers. The police department couldn't handle the manpower coming from the community. They underestimated us. We fought back, you guys. It was just like today. It was so much police brutality. All they did was change their hood for the Ku Klux Klansmen, exchanged their hood for a police uniform. So what did they did, much like Ohio resident we seen today, decide to protect the community. By the end of the 3 days, 7 men had been killed and many police officers. The police department couldn't handle the manpower coming from the community, so the National Guard was sent into our hood. Now, the mayor was Mayor Stoke. He was a black cop. He had got to where he forbid white cops to come into our community. That's just how they had to negotiate it. No white cops in the community. But we had one problem. We will have a plant in the community. I would classify Marcella as a plant. Tay Talk, Carmel Rail, Empress, anybody else I miss. Plants are people in your community that they don't care. They just there to take you down. Their jealousies and envies will take you down. Okay? The police department couldn't handle the manpower coming from the community, so the National Guard was sent into our hood. From that day on, no white cops enter our hood. Afterwards, Fred was sent to prison, where he died 9 years later, Today, Fred is honored in a Smithsonian Museum. Our ancestors always come back to tell and leave a blueprint for people to follow. So those people in Ohio may not know it, but that is their blueprint. This is Fred Armand, you guys. The National Libya. Here we go. Yeah. I was there. Cleveland, Ohio. I was there. All these people that you're about to see is my friends. Now, when we went to school, like I said, your teachers were, we were known as black nationalists. I don't know, the grown folks had this shit going on where the Panthers, they split it and they became the black nationalists. But whatever the case, we respected each other differences. Most of the time, you're out there in the streets playing. You're playing. You're just a child, but you knew you had to fight. You knew that there would never, ever, ever be another Black Wall Street, because you see, a lot of those places up in there was owned. The Muslim owned blocks and blocks of business. Let's just let you.
Tonight, dramatic new details in FBI files about a wild and deadly day in Cleveland. It was 50 years ago this Monday when 10 were killed, more than 15 wounded in a confrontation with Black power groups. It's called the Glenville Shootout. The investigator Tom Myers says declassified records reveal what really happened that day and why.
I think that July 23rd, 1968 is one of the most infamous days in the city of Cleveland's history.
1968, J. Edgar Hoover's counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, targeted Black nationalists as a hate group.
Look at the FBI and COINTELPRO and J. Edgar Hoover. They actually conducted war against the Black citizens.
We examined dozens of declassified FBI documents. According to one agency memo, COINTELPRO was set up to prevent the coalition of militant Black nationalist groups and prevent these militants from gaining respectability.
When the FBI wrote these files, they never expected that anyone would see that or see the light of day.
What used to be secret FBI documents are now for anyone to see. They were included in a book by Cleveland lawyer and author Jim Robenalt. FBI files identified a number of Black militants, including former Cleveland school teacher Don Freeman. COINTELPRO actually said he was a threat to national security.
If the police abuse you, you have not only the right, but the responsibility of defending yourself.
That was also the philosophy of Fred Ahmed Evans, a leader of a Black militant group in Cleveland's Glenville neighborhood. Evans received thousands of dollars from a taxpayer-funded program to fight poverty called Cleveland Now. Instead of using the money to help those in need, he bought high-powered rifles and ammunition.
There was an absolute purpose to ambush the police and kill as many as they could.
With the help of FBI informants, Cleveland police were tipped off about the weapons, so they watched Evans closely, setting up surveillance in this area about a block from Evans' apartment, which is now gone.
It was pretty ridiculous. You got these white guys in unmarked police cars. I mean, it was a joke. And every 90% of the neighborhood's Black, and you got these white guys in his car. And
Evans feared they were about to be attacked by police. About 15 armed militants burst from Evans' home.
The stakeout cars made clean getaways, but minutes later, a city tow truck arrived at this location to remove an abandoned vehicle.
The truck, with flashing lights and the words Cleveland Police Department marked on the side, was shot at, along with its operators, who were wearing similar uniforms as cops.
Somebody started shooting at me with a gun, and they hit me twice in the back. And I started running, and they hit me again.
Suddenly, all hell broke loose.
It seemed like they surrounded us. They were shooting at us from both sides with shotguns. They were coming everywhere. I never seen so many guns in my life.
This was as chaotic can be.
Former patrolman Leonard Sims was one of many officers who responded. At least 30 gunshots struck his car.
They started over something that didn't make sense. They know they can overthrow the police department. They decided they could.
When Jerry Viola and his partner arrived, they also came under heavy fire.
I could see tracers going by the front windshield, and you could hear automatic weapon fire.
Rookie cop Pete Ventura was in the thick of it, shooting it out with black militants, storming Evans' home, and rescuing wounded officers. The hour-long gun battle resulted in 10 killed, including 3 police officers and 15 wounded. Ventura was the first to make contact with Evans when he surrendered.
You went home to you, he said, if I done with the jail, he said, I'd have killed you more.
The gun battle triggered the city's second riot in only 2 years. The Glenville neighborhood was set on fire. Firefighters were shot at while trying to do their job. Carl Stokes, the country's first black big city mayor, called in the National Guard. 34 buildings and 63 businesses destroyed in 2 days. $18 million in damage in today's dollars. And yet, some militants tried to justify the rioting.
Looting and burning will continue as long as the white merchants are in the community exploiting the black community.
Stokes took a lot of heat for ordering all white cops to stay out of the riot area. But Robenall said it was a smart move.
I think it saved a lot of lives because I think there were a lot of people on high retribution.
Anyway, you guys, this is my neighborhood. This is how I grew up. This is what shaped my views on always looking out for the black community. Now, uppity, you want to make fun of me looking out for those mothers who are grieving and the family members that have lost a lot of loved ones. You make fun of it because you as a plant. A plant won't understand that, y'all. They have no compassion for another black person. Only if we could see each other as human beings. If we can see each other with love in our eyes, then it wouldn't bother uppity. Uppity would make fun of me for going to see about people who lost their loved ones that have committed suicide or have been murdered. Yeah, plants. I don't know what to do about these plants in the community. But I tell you one thing, I will be having a meeting about these plants that I see up here on that panel.
I'm teaming up with the investigator.
This was called a Glenville shootout. Now, this is when I left Detroit, there was a riot in Detroit. We ran, we were homeless. We ended up in this town, all the way from Bessemer to Detroit, now Cleveland. Now, when you go to school, all your teachers was Black Nationalists or Black Panthers. You go to church, your pastor, everybody was fighters. We were not Malcolm X followers. We were not Martin Luther King followers. We was Malcolm X followers. We come from Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman. This is the type of environment I come from. You see about the community. See, when you see a person like uppity upset because you going to making fun of you because people dying in your community, and you go see about your grieving sisters and brothers and about their children and community, she don't understand because she is a plant, right? Plant are people that have no empathy for the black community. They look like you and me, but what would they do? They would take you down out of envious and jealousies. Let's just take a look at some of my friends in the community. We were children, you guys. We were fighters. We have always fought. We were the muscle behind the civil rights movement. That's what got them to change things. It wasn't because y'all was marching and begging white people to love you. It was the muscles. It was my group. It was people like me.
Channel 3 News has obtained secret FBI documents on 3 of the most infamous days in Cleveland history. 50 years ago next week, a dramatic shootout left 10 dead and 15 wounded. It was called the Glenville shootout. And those now declassified files, a new book, and some amazing interviews to provide the bloody truth about what happened. I'm teaming up with the investigator Tom Meyer and producer Chris Canargiani for this exclusive 3-part report.
You wandered outside your neighborhood, no telling what would happen to you.
By the 1960s, Cleveland was a microcosm of racial division in America. Shababa Akili was a teenager.
Superior was borderline. Many rebellions and stuff broke out in Cleveland along that border.
We were all teenagers, you guys, myself included.
They were a time of intense struggle.
Adults felt the pressure too. Glenville resident Don Freeman was forced to live a double life, assembling the precursor to the Black Panther Party.
Yes, I was a teacher by day and a radical by night.
The bloody battle that erupted 50 years ago, in many ways, starts here at Coy Methodist Church.
Now, my job in the hood was to teach, right? I wanted to be out there with the rest of, freedom fighters, but they needed me to teach. Now, I had my friends. It was females out there fighting. A lot of them was my buddies, but they were out there fighting, but they wouldn't allow me to fight. I was strictly there to educate. I was strictly there early in the morning. I would have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go down there to the center and help the children with their homework, fix breakfast. That's where the free lunch started, you guys, with the Black Panthers, the Black National. There's a whole lot of groups out there. The National Libya. Yeah, Glenville, Ohio have always fought back. Yes. And if you look good, most of these people that are talking, I grew up with them.
This former synagogue in the heart of Glenville attracted legendary speakers.
That church had Martin Luther King come there in 1963. A year later, Malcolm X came, and he gave his very famous "The Ballot or Bullet" speech there for the first time.
Akili and his friend.
So I was going to tell y'all, I was when I saw that man speak, that turned my whole life around. They didn't want Martin Luther King. They didn't want to hear this turn the other cheek and go lay down in the middle of the damn street and let some clear people beat you up with a billy goat. We didn't want to hear that. We told Martin Luther King, stay home, don't come up here. He came anyway. Well, of course, we respect the king. Everybody respected each other because in the bottom line, all of us was needed. His way, we may not agree with it, but it was needed, right? Our way, nobody agreed with it, but it was needed. We were the muscle. That's Carl Stokes right there. He had just been elected the mayor of Ohio, and he was down for the black people, y'all. He was down. He had got to where no white people could come into the community, no cops. It was no different then as it is now. See, these are teenagers. These are people that I went to school with, y'all. We sitting up there in school listening at the teacher. We weren't talking about no damn social studies. We were talking about how to liberate our community and what to do in case they come into your community and try to pull you out. In case there was another Black Wall Street. This not happening to us anymore.
We're drawn to this self-defense message of Malcolm X.
He was not about any turn the other cheek kind of thing. And so I hadn't been a follower of Dr. King because I saw it as not being effective against, racist violence.
Fred Evans attended the Malcolm X speech here and formed Black Nationalists of New Libya. Akili and his friends formed their own Black Power group.
And our organization was called the Afro-Set Black Nationalist Party for Self-Defense. And so we armed all of our members.
Soon, they were monitored by the FBI.
I was on the list.
Yeah, monitored. We had plants in there. Monitored by the FBI. Plants, like I'm talking about. I would consider myself, I wouldn't trust her in the community. She wouldn't be trusted. All those people on that panel would not be trusted. They would be considered plants in the community. I've seen those spirits before, the envious and jealousy, pocket watching me. Give me a little $10 here, $10 there. You jealous because maybe I done got $2 more than you, and you ready to take me down. Now I'm gonna say this. What's wrong? They said Truth is a bully. They got a channel taking you guys, but these plants still holding panels about this woman. Now they got that every day. They got a panel talking about this woman, but yet they say she is the bully. That's what a plant do. A plant to come in and give you misinformation, feed it to have you taken down. Let's just keep going, you guys. Plants in the community, plants on the internet.
And I didn't even know who Jagger was. I'm like 17, 18 years old, and here goes somebody signing some papers, putting me on some kind of security index so that if anything happened in America, keep him under closed observation.
However, Martin Luther King had not given up on Cleveland. Carl Stokes was running for mayor, and King knew victory was vital.
And he worried that King would bring with him too much baggage and that he would alienate some of the white voters that he needed to get in 67. So he actually asked King not to come. King came anyway.
Many black residents in Glenville worried about police.
Johnson's commission on riots and crises in the cities has also said the same thing.
King came anyway. They sent him up there, y'all. Yeah, they sent King up there. But King did the right thing. He was not no plant. He just tried to talk us into turning the other cheek. No, not no more. Y'all not finna come in this community and drag our women and children out of here and do what y'all want to do.
That white cops don't come in black communities to quell riots and uprisings. They come in to kill.
Police didn't see it that way.
When I was out there working in uniform and stuff, we got along pretty well with most people.
But by then,
we were at war.
The fuse was lit.
So it was clear to us that, look, if we don't defend ourselves, we can't rely on anybody else to defend ourselves.
2 days later, an ambush of police by Fred Ahmed's black nationalist group set off a powder keg.
The story needed to be told.
The main reason that this story has not really been told is everybody involved in it has a reason for burying it.
The reason it hasn't been told because they do not want it to get around for black people to know their Second Amendment right. You have a right to bear arms and to protect yourself and your community. They want us to look like we cowards. We are not cowards. We have always been fighters, you guys. I'm not, y'all sit behind this internet and this internet gangster. I'm boots on the ground. I gets out there.
But now we are digging up that story, and as we mentioned, FBI documents on the shootout were recently declassified, and the investigator Tom Meyer has seen them. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Russ, these are just some of the 400 pages of records that had been kept secret for about 50 years. Now, some people believe they...
Cast Part 1 is available now.
When it came time to
That's a little history, you guys. They don't teach all that in the book, but I was there. Y'all know about that bridge over there. They'll show y'all where all black people getting beat up and like as if we were cowards. But the truth is, black people have always fought. They would just show y'all the part to make y'all feel like we were cowards, but we were not cowards. We fought, you guys. So what I want to say to you guys is that it's so dehumanizing to me to keep on watching these black bodies all in the middle of the street. See, I see them. Oftentimes, I'm on a lot of these people. Not long ago, Brother Sykes got hung. You got to go watch them cut them down, and nothing ever happened. What they say is, same way like they told those people in Lincoln Heights that the Ku Klux Klansmen and the neo-Nazis had not committed a crime. They did not break no law. What was they down there for, y'all? They'll tell you that, and all these lynchings that's going on in the year 2000, y'all. It's been so many lynchings. It's been more lynching in the year 2000 in the whole history of this country. But they labeling these lynchings suicide. So then I get to be a mock, because I'm going to see about family members and people that I love that's grieving over the loss of their loved ones. Most of these people been lost their loved ones. Unarmed police, unarmed little children, unarmed teenager, unarmed and shot and killed by the police. I'm being mocked because every time I look around, she talking about somebody done died. Yes. When you see your sister as a brother, as a human being, your heart hurts. Some of these people have become so cold and desensitized towards black life, towards black killing. It's just normal to them. I watched that girl talk that shit on that panel, so cold and so insensitive towards black people grieving, towards black death, towards black killing. Just gonna mock me over it because I am in a ministry where I go and see about my sisters and my brothers. This is real. Y'all sit behind that internet and think this shit ain't real. We had we had an episode down there in Huntsville, Alabama, you guys, where young children was dying like flies down there. Overdose, getting over to some bad drugs. Most of them getting over to this bad drugs down there every week. And the reason I'm down there is because I've been living down there 40-some years in just a little bit of community. Some of these children I helped raise. And you uppity want to make a mock out of it, you want to laugh about it, joke about it. So numb, cold, and insensitive towards your sisters and your brothers that are grieving. Yeah. So this what happens, you guys. We become desensitized. Because we see it on TV so much. It's nothing. They will have a black body laying out in the street for hours, 24 hours almost, laying in the middle of the street where the police came in there and shot one of your brothers and sisters. He just laying out there. So we become desensitized. We see this. We witness murder. We witness this all on the videos. They singing about it on the videos, right? We see it in the movies. Black killing is become normal. So normal to when you see a person like me always going to comfort a family or a loved one or to somebody's funeral. You label it as me being crazy. Yeah. Rage, frustration, and grief can consume the black community, you guys. So even if I'm going down here to Huntsville to visit some of these families, going to all these funerals, back-to-back funerals, then you got the mothers, most of them are single mothers that's left and grieving, and they still calling me. And I'm still going down there back and forth to Huntsville to see about them. And up there, you could sit over there and be cold and insensitive and make fun of me for doing that. But that's just my ministry. It's not normal. Your reaction is not normal. Your reaction is just cold and insensitive towards the black community, you guys. There's no easy fix to this. But we got to care about each other. What happens to each other in the community? Like y'all see, there's some people with like minds, like the people in Lincoln Heights that'll get out there and protect those children, make sure that the children is okay going back and forth to school. I grew up, well, I didn't have no other choice the way I grew up. I was just thrown in there as a child, just thrown in there. You had to fight, you hear me? You had to fight to survive in your community. That's the only way you could keep them Ku Klux Klansmen from coming in there like they did Emmett Till and taking them out your house and doing what they want to do to you. And now I got to sit up here on this internet and fight these stupid ass people on this internet. Y'all ain't my fight. Y'all need to leave me alone. Y'all ain't my fight. My fight have always been for the community, not y'all. Always got to run into these plants. All right, you guys, I'm going to put the next one through. The next one is Ronald Green. Boots on the ground. I've been on the Breonna Taylor case. I've been all over the United States, you guys, doing my journalistic work, fighting for the Black community. No, y'all don't understand that. You want to make fun of it. All right, here you go, y'all. Let me put this through. This is the Ronald Green case. This man was drugged by the police, y'all. It was his anniversary. And they tried it, and they tried to keep it hid until we went down there. Boots on the ground went down there and made them put that video out. I don't know which one it is. Am I in Louisiana? Let me go to Louisiana. So when I see these Black mothers grieving, right, over the loss of their children, right, that thing hurt my heart. But some of us have become so desensitive, so numb to it, that we can sit up and make fun of a person that really going to see about these grieving parents. Okay, y'all, I'm trying to get this video. This is the Ronald Green case, if I can get it up here, y'all. So I goes on these cases, right, as a real journalist. Y'all don't know me. I'm all over the United States, y'all, with my journalistic work. I covered the Ronald Green case, the Joseph Pellerin case, Breonna Taylor case, George Floyd. It's so many cases that I've been on. But I noticed with the Black community, a lot of you, especially that panel up there that was attacking me, have become numb to Black death, desensitized to Black death, as if it's normal. Here I am, going all over the world to see about these cases. What's taking y'all so long with the Breonna Taylor case? My friends, I'm just surrounding myself with people with like minds that do care, that do unify, and care about the Black community and what's going on in front of the Black community. But here, I got the list singing in my ears with this uppity, right? Over there so numb towards Black death, they laughing at me because I get up and go see about these people. And the list goes on and on and on in our community with these police brutality cases. Is it normal? Is it normal for you to feel that way against Black people who have lost their loved ones, where you can sit up and laugh and make joke about it? You stigmatize me for being this little old lady. Every time you look around, somebody dying, she got to see about somebody. Yes. It happens that you got people that still care about other people, other families that are suffering in the community. We have been desensitized to Black killing, y'all. Just numb cold over there, uppity, just numb cold over there, Black death, Black killings. Some of those people done, and it's real, you guys. I can't sit up here and fake like everything is okay in the community. You got so many of our young people, young in their 20s, 30s, 40s, teenagers also dying from overdose of drugs, getting over the bad prescription or whatever, they're getting over the bad drugs in the community, they're dying. You got other ones that are committing suicide. And then there's the overwhelming of them dying from police brutality. Black killing now is on the forefront, have always been on the forefront with me. It's dehumanizing. Dehumanizing to see other Blacks shown in full display. They'll show you an event, a tragedy. They'll show you, and then y'all's always just a meme. She crazy, look at her. Show Black people and Mimi's just dead, been murdered. And I get upset and you guys laugh at me. It's dehumanizing, y'all, to see that. We have become so numb to Black death, so desensitized to Black death till you can sit up and make fun of me for even caring about these people. Repeatedly sharing videos of police brutality, just re-traumatizing our families over and over and over, but this stuff is real. Blacks have been witnesses murder for generations, y'all. It ain't nothing new what I'm talking about. You act like it's something new, uppity. Blacks have always witnessed other Blacks in the community, whether they're murdered or whether they commit suicide or whether they just died at the hands of the police. Call police profiling, rage, frustration, and grief is consuming a whole lot of our Black community, the Black people that have lost their loved one. Despair. There's no time to process you guys' mindset over there, because a lot of you are numb and desensitive to what goes on in the Black community. But me and my neighborhood and people with like minds like me, we're going to always get out and see about other people. They don't have to be your family. They don't have to be bloodline running through you. But just let them know you care. Like Ronald Green right there. That's the Ronald Green case where the police drugged that man. That man, I believe it was his anniversary or something. He was profiled that night. They drugged him and beat him to death and then took him to the hospital and said that he had ran and had been in a car wreck. I'm out there on the streets, y'all. Where are you? You can sit back here and laugh at me. and joke at me for being out there doing my journalistic work, for being out there caring about the community and the people in the community and the children and the family who have lost a loved one. You can be so numb to it and desensitized to it because you don't care. The next thing you will see is me being in the community, you guys, doing some of my journalistic work in the community, going to see about what's going on with these police brutality cases.
NFAC, where you at? Make some ass attention.
Walk through there and get down. Walk through there and come back.
You got me, bro. Am I good?
Let's move.
They late. They're about 20 minutes late. All the disturbance is over now.
This is Publishing Company. I'm out here with Grandmaster Jay at the formation. I'm out here at the formation with Grandmaster Jay.
We got good.
As you can see, this is Grandmaster Jay.
Let's go!
In fact, this is on my publishing company out here with Grandmaster Jay. Okay, so just me saying about the black people in the community, you guys. I'm on this case doing my journalistic work. I brought in some little kids with me to train the youth behind me to carry my legacy on. So this is, some of you have become numb to a situation like this, much like you, Uppity. A case like this is the kind of cases I be on. This is my ministry.
Yet another case involving the tragic death of an apparently unarmed black man at the hands of police. Warning, what you're about to see is very disturbing.
I'm scared. This morning, Louisiana State Troopers under intense scrutiny over a 2019 traffic incident that they claim resulted in a high-speed chase. Ronald Green here pleading with troopers in video from police body camera footage obtained by the Associated Press. Green, only 49, died that night. But questions are mounting about whether his case involved excessive force.
So y'all, I'm on this case. I'm boots on the ground, y'all. This is just so many cases I've been on. But I'm telling y'all, some of us have become so numb and desensitive towards seeing our black families, loved ones dying, and have no compassion for the family that's left behind. That's why when a person like Uppity can sit up there on her platform, and those people on their platform can sit up there and make fun of me for going to see about some of these shit that's happening in our community. You make fun of me. I'm boots on the ground. I'm an old lady. I'm out here. Where are you? Behind the computer, numb and desensitized to where you can make fun of a situation.
Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I am sorry.
In clips of a 46-minute video, police seen tasing him, punching him, and at one point dragging him by his shackled feet when he's already handcuffed. The Green family has been demanding justice, claiming a cover-up.
As a family, it's tore us apart. It's tore us apart. We do all that we can to just maintain our sanity. It's so hurtful. It's so hurtful.
Yes, it is. They were trying to sweep this under the rug, you guys. They would not bring out this video until the Black community got together. In fact, myself, a whole lot of other people like mine got together and demanded that they show what happened to Ronald Green. Then that was when they started releasing this video.
Police initially said that Green died from injuries after crashing into a tree, but in audio obtained by ABC News, one of the officers involved in the incident suggesting a different story.
The coroner reported Green's death as accidental, the result of a heart attack. Louisiana State Police are declining to comment, citing an ongoing civil rights investigation. They're calling the release of this video unauthorized, George.
I'm here with Black News, Black Media, Black Titanic in Lafayette, Louisiana. So we're here in Louisiana.
Training the next generation, you guys.
With Grandmaster J.
Okay, now turn it that way. You got them. Come on.
I know, Grandma.
That's me standing up there, y'all. So what y'all watching is the community coming together. That's the beginning of it, but it was Black Power.
Black Power. Black Power. No, you know, don't.
Hold your motherfucking distance. We not playing with you. We not fucking playing with you. You ain't fuck with us. Go ahead, Jamal. This isn't anything new that we're dealing with now. They said that civil war in the 1965, we're fighting that same war right now. These people that are standing there against us, waving the Confederate flag, that's the Confederacy that we fought against years ago, and that's still going on to this day. Put y'all fists in the air, folks. Come on up here. Put y'all fists in the air. We're not doing hate no more. We ain't doing hate no more. Put that fist in the air.
No, we're not with this. Let's not say
Get your black ass down. Now, hey, this don't mean that you're scared and you can't go out there and protest for your rights. This just means that you're smart and you're using your noggin. The old noggin that's going to get you out of trouble instead of getting beat upside your old noggin. If they want to go out there and march for us, let them go march. Sit your black ass down.
Top 3 reasons blacks will not be part of the April 5th, 2025 march.
Okay, but I'm gonna give you three reasons. Now, there's 3 more, but I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why we ain't coming. Number 1, I want to give y'all the information because that's important. In 1957, 9 black students integrated Little Rock Central High School, and the governor at the time, he sent in the National Guards on 9 black students. I mean, it was a mess. It was on TV. First time, whether believe it or not, the news broadcasters went live first time. Yeah, that was that. So we dealt with that, okay? Then you come on up, 1963, black folk fighting for their rights and fighting for freedom. They did the March on Washington, okay? That's when Dr. King really became known because he gave that I Have a Dream speech. But, you know, at that time, they were sicking dogs on us and spraying black folk with water. So we got that. And then I'm going to line up. There's many more reasons, but number 3, now this is the one that I want you to really get. Number 3 is it is almost 60 years to the date. So tomorrow, when y'all had that march, did you know that March 7th, 1965, which is almost 60 years in a month and a few little days, that was better known as Bloody Sunday, when the black folk was in Selma, Alabama, and they was getting ready to come across the Emmons Pettus Bridge because they was going to take a 54-mile march to Montgomery fighting for voters' rights. And you know what happened. You know the Alabama state troopers beat them off that bridge. You saw it. Go look at the movie Selma. It's the true story. They beat them with batons. They sprayed them. They kicked them. You know, that's when John Lewis, you know, he sustained a skull injury. 19 people were hospitalized and many more. So that's why we ain't coming. That's just 3 reasons we ain't coming. So y'all do y'all thing. Y'all do it. Because we didn't already been part of it. We started this thing. Now y'all wrap it up.
You're exactly right. Because we've been marching. Black people in America have been marching. We have been protesting. And we march and we protest alone.
This is how Yenny reacts.
When we march, when we protest, they either turn their backs, give some watered down fucking support from their couch in their living room where they're fucking safe, or they call us rioters. When we marched, if they gave a fuck about our kids being shot with rubber bullets, they wouldn't be facing that shit right now. When we marched, if they gave a fuck about dogs and high-powered water hoses, they wouldn't be worried about it right now. When we marched, if they gave a fuck about SWAT teams jumping out of motherfucking box vans, spraying us with goddamn pepper spray while our hands were fucking up, they wouldn't be marching right now. If America had given a fuck about the quality of black lives in this bitch, ever, they would not be marching now. We have put our lives on the fucking line repeatedly in this country, fighting for our humanity, fighting for the humanity of others, and we fought, we marched alone. And now we are the targets of this fascist fucking regime. And I think the most revolutionary thing that we can do right now is fucking live. We deserve to live. And we know the ground game. But we know the game, period. So y'all get your asses out there and you be the fucking foot soldiers for humanity this time. We'll run background because we've been marching. And if you'd marched with us then, you would not be marching alone right.
I did watch I watched the little march that they had, but I'm glad that black people is minding their own business. My grandfather told me a long time ago, you know what? Leave them clear people business alone. Now, I just do want to say to y'all, there are some clear people that will go to bat with you. Now, not all of them are like that, but it's not a lot. It's not enough of them. My sister. I'll call you back. I'm on live. I'll call you back. Yeah, so Yeah, okay, so let's get to y'all waiting on the commentary. I thank y'all over here for being patient with me while I shared a little Black history. Y'all knew about Malcolm X, but y'all did not know Fred Evans. Fred Ahmed. Y'all did not know him. He was a great leader, you guys, up there, instrumental in a lot of those Black power groups protecting the community. Yeah. So one thing they said about in that video, the FBI put out that the money that was being donated, he was buying weapons. No, that's how we started this school lunch. We would buy food and have school lunches for the children, feed the children before they go to school. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. They kept burning our food banks down. Kept burning the food banks down, but the Black community will unite and we will build that food bank right on up. So that's what a lot of our money went to. But anyway, let's get to the commentary gonna be on Real Housewife of Atlanta and a little bit of Married to Medicine, you guys. I'm just gonna put it through. Hey y'all, it's thundering and lightning here real bad here. Yes, it is. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it is. Let me put this through right here and then. I'm coming. Let's see. Mr. Paxson. Here we go. Y'all know this thing with Angie Stone. We see this all the time. We saw it with Prince. Prince just died of brother. We saw it with Whitney Houston. So many of our artists. I go all the way back to Sam Cooke. Well, Sam Cooke was the first one that I remember wanting his publishing right. That man back in the 60s, early 50s, yeah, he ended up. Next thing you know, Sam Cooke had passed. A mysterious way he had passed. Yeah. Anyway, this is
after that accident happened. We'll start with that first. So the person that I spoke to that morning at the hospital, you guys, this light is in my way. The person that I spoke to that morning that is in the circle of people that are right amongst Angie and that has been is a lady by the name of Shayna Shell. She goes by Queen Shayna Bunche online, Queen Shayna Bunche, Shayna Shells, and she sings. She's not really an artist, but I guess she wants to be an artist. She has a company called Sacred Sound. So this is the young lady that Angie entrusted to handle her inner business. This is the lady that was going back and forth with the Chester guy, okay, as far as when it came to the coding. But understand this. This lady is very messy. She's right in the middle. And I don't care what nobody says, and I will continue to say this. We had several conversations where Mike really trusts her. He really believes in this girl, her word value. But the truth is how many people even know this girl's history? We don't know anything about where she's from. When I remember speaking with her from the beginning, and I was asking her where she's from, and she said she came from New Mexico, right? Or Mexico or New Mexico, one of them. I think it was Mexico. She came from Mexico. So I was just curious, like she come all the way from Mexico. Angie let her move into her house, and she's still living there. Now, why am I bringing her name up now, you ask? It's because people kept saying, hey, you never mentioned the person in the hospital. And then people kept saying it was one of the twins. It was not one of the twins. Neither one of those twins I've ever even spoken to. Let me just say that first. I've never even spoken to any one of those twins. I personally don't know the twins, okay? So now we got that out of the way. But this girl is very messy. And when I tell you that she's very messy, she's very calculated. You ever meet those people that you have friendships with your friends and a new friend will come?
So you guys, she was Angie living assistant. Angie had a big heart. Angie took this young lady in. And so he was saying that, it was just something about this lady that showed that she had unethical decision making when it came to Angie. This is Stone Paxton, one of Angie's friends.
Around, and that friend will actually turn you against your longtime friend, and then your longtime friend against you. This is how this girl operates. Quote unquote, I say it again. This is how she operates. So that morning when she called me, that was the person that was freaking out about the driver. She was freaking out about the fact that he brought his girlfriend, that his girlfriend showed up at the hospital. She was very, very adamant and upset about that. And she expressed that to me in the middle of this situation with Angie passing. She wanted to talk about that. So that's who the girl is. For all those that wanted to know, say a name, say a name. There you go. There's the name. Now, what are you going to do with that name? Now that I've told you, what are you going to do with that name? So this is what I suggest you do. You guys need to go. Her name is Shayna Von Shea, a.k.a. Shayna Von Shea. Her company is Sacred Sounds. Why don't you go and do research and find out about her? Find out where she was before she came to live with Angie. She said Mexico. Find out her history. Find out, the kind of people she dealt with before that. I mean, if you guys want to be investigators, I feel like I've done my job. I've done exactly what I wanted to do. I sparked that conversation by springing and stretching out my videos, talking about stoning. I stretched my videos out.
So thank you, Mr. Stone, Angie Stone. Thank you for being the voice for Angie. Thank you too, Mr. Tough News. Also, you've been doing a great job. So, Angie Stone, you guys, so many of our Black celebrities just died mysteriously like Angie, right? But this time, the media is on their case. You're watching Mr. Paxton, one of Angie Stone's friends that's speaking out. He's been a great voice for Angie. Thank you, Mr. Paxton. Angie, y'all know Angie said that she felt like she was under some kind of attack when she had some kind of blood infection, you guys. But anyway, Mr. Paxton, he had talked to that young lady. She had called him from the hospital, Miss Shell. So he do have inside knowledge of some inside knowledge of Angie. Here he goes again, Mr. Paxton.
Something else that I didn't share on the previous videos that I planned to share. So one of those 4 anonymous callers said to me that they knew that Angie was sick because they had a relationship with the driver, okay? Now, the crazy part is they said that there was some made up kind of, I guess, some herb or something that they had made up to give Angie so that she could take this that's supposed to help with her health, right? Now, that person told me that Angie was given this medication so that it could help her. I think it's some sort of herbal medication, the way he was talking to me, the way that anonymous person was talking to me, some kind of herbal medication that was given to Angie. And people inside of our circle told me that they know for a fact that I'm not the story that I told them, because I shared this with them. They said, well, you can't be lying, Stone, because they said that Shayna told them she was the one that was giving the meds to Angie, whatever this herbal medication is to heal her. Also, the person that told me, the anonymous person told me that they were giving that Shayna was giving this herbal medication to Angie. Now, I don't know what the herbal medication is, but it was something that was made up to give to Angie. They were having her take this daily. She trusted this Shayna girl. She was making sure that Angie took this medication. I guess the way they explained to me, she was taking it all through the week, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. I'm not quite sure how many days, but she was taking it, okay? Now, I thought that was interesting. I said, dang, that's weird, because, Angie was going to the doctor. She was waiting for her kidney, and then that whole situation kind of blew my mind. So I didn't mention that on the other videos, but I wanted to share that on this video, being that this might be my last video, I'm pretty sure. Because, like I said, I think I've sparked the focus that we needed into Angie's passing enough for other people to have picked it up and ran with it. Just do me a favor, you guys. If this is justice for Angie, please, man, Please, I'm pleading with you, content creators. Just come together and make sense of it. Stop bashing on people. Stop making threats to content creators. Stop talking about you're gonna unlike people on YouTube, which is, by the way, is considered a homeland security threat. That's a terrorist act. Just want you to know that, Mr. Content Creator. That is a terrorist act. And believe me, I'm not done with moving forward on certain things concerning that. Just want you to know that. Yeah, but stuff like that don't freak me out.
So he said that the reason that he had from part 1 to part 8 right now, just to stretch these videos out to keep the focus on Angie. Hashtag justice for Angie. This is Shamea on the Angela Lee Show. She's just telling how she felt about getting a peach.
Oh, yeah, this is good work. Yeah, this is what he went. Somebody on social media saying, call me, even though you're married.
Right.
Now, Kenya, this is interesting that she's on the show, but you don't see her promote. It kind of seems like she wouldn't be on the show. And I know there was a lot of drama in the last season. What are your thoughts about that with her and Brittany and the whole, like, you know, the releasing of the pictures? And she has taken accountability, forward afterwards. And she's on the season, but I hear it's going to, like, fade out kind of.
So we don't really know how they're going to do it yet or how they're going to edit it, but I was there when the whole thing went down and it was nasty work. And when it happened, I actually told Kenya, I was like, hey, going too far. And she turned and she lit me up. And so then I stepped back and I got quiet with Kenya and I talked to her. I was like, okay, let me sit my So then we talked about it and she apologized. She was like, she was in the heat of the moment and that's just what it was. But now, looking back after all is said and done, I wish I had just like kept quiet about all of it.
Really?
Because Brittany surprises you.
Ooh,
surprises you.
I'm getting it now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it and see what's going to happen with that.
Yeah.
Now, this first episode was jam-packed with different things. So I know you've been watching what everybody's talking about. Drew. All right. Drew is another situation that's been on the show. And, her journey with her husband, soon to be ex-husband. We're going to be following that. He's in the basement.
Yes.
But one of the issues there is that she is working with Portia's ex, who she has a kid with, Dennis, and people felt like that was wrong. But she said it's just music. They're just
now, y'all. How do y'all feel about them? Put it down there in the chat. Do y'all think Drew is secretly dating Dennis? Now, I never knew Dennis to be a music producer. I don't know when that happened, but people try new things all the time, and Drew seems to be happy with the direction that he's going. And Portia, she definitely has a problem with it, and a lot of people, they're not feeling Portia. They try to say that Portia was castmate with the other young lady and ended up marrying her husband. So let's just see how y'all feel about Drew. Do y'all feel like Drew and Dennis got something going on? Or do you feel like it's strictly business? Or do you feel like Drew broke girls' code?
It's making music together. But then there were reports that, like, I don't know if it's true or not, they were like holding hands or something like that. So what are your thoughts about, and I know in episode 2 we'll hear more about it, but do you believe that it's just work?
Even if it is just work, why, Dennis? We're in Atlanta. Atlanta is known for good music. We have great. He's so daft. Like, we've got some amazing producers.
Like, where's Jermaine?
Like, come on, JD, Brian Michael Cox. Like, come on, y'all. Like, when I think of music, I don't think of Dennis. I think of hot dogs. I think of, I don't think of Dennis. So,
you want to glizzy?
You want to be, yes. In our circle, step outside of the circle and find somebody else. I thought that was too much. I thought Dennis should have been off limits. So much so, just this week, I'm gonna show you. Dennis just sent me a message. And he, of course, sent it to myself and my husband. And he's like, "Oh, I got a movie coming out. I want you to do it." And I'm like, now you read this.
Let me see. I'm doing my Reginae said, okay. You want to say, would you like to read for it? You didn't even respond.
Cause why? I don't want them problems. I don't want those problems.
Yeah,
like,
I did see Shamea in a movie, you guys, on Lifetime. I did, y'all.
I like Dennis, and I think he's a great father, you know, and a great friend to my husband, and we love having him at our parties. He's a fun time. But you gotta draw the line somewhere.
But okay, now what if you went to Portia and you were like, look, Dennis wants me to read for this, and it's a good cast, and you know, would you
with
would
the way
do that?
with the block being hot right now, I want the part, but I'm gonna have to just wait.
Because I just feel like also work-wise, it's not like you know what I'm saying? This is what you also do for a living. You're an actor. It's an opportunity. It's a check.
Is.
Not that you need a check, girl.
But it's an opportunity,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I am trying to get back out there with film and television. So when I saw it, my mouth watered.
Because I'm going to be honest, if that was my friend, I would tell her, like, look, I know you're my friend. I trust you. You know, read for the part. Get it. It's business. I never want to hold anybody back from work things, and I can separate that because at the end of the day, they do still have to deal with each other in a way of, you know, family.
You know how, like, when you are doing something you're supposed to do, like if you, I hate to say it, like me having sex with somebody, like, I know I ain't supposed to be having sex with him, but I want to, but it's not, no, but you're like, Rodney, yes. Like, it's kind of like, that's what I don't want to be like the, oh yeah, you can do it, and then she not doing it.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Because I would, if it was one of my friends, I would be like, girl, this is like, and I know you got me, but I also don't want you to not.
Because I don't want to have to like stare your soul, like, are you,
yeah.
You let me do it? No, are you saying yes?
We're talking about Portia now. Portia always wanted to be the spotlight. No, she wanted to be the spotlight. So, yeah. So, that's right. I think you made the right decision, Shamea, to turn Dennis down. Yes. This is Angela Yee. The Angela Yee Show.
Portia doesn't even want to speak about her own marriage and her own relationship. Why don't you mention my husband? Like, don't even say Charles' name. Don't even get it out.
So Portia is sitting up there shading this lady about her husband, trying to tell this lady that her husband is cheating. So that is what she's saying. She's married to Charles Oakley. But, you know, she got that smile on her face, but she did not like that at all. Also, Portia was sitting up there. Now this is the next question, right? This question going to start a war at the table. She's talking to Kenya. Dear Kenya, what kind of drawers you got on? Let's see. So, yeah, she's laughing. So they all just having a great time, you guys. Kenya gonna stand up and show her those what color drawers she got on. Kenya being a good sport. They laughing and all. They're all having a great time. But it's gonna go left pretty soon. Yeah, it's gonna go left, you guys. Drew is going to ask the question too. Drew gonna ask Kenya, why is it you always in happily married people business, y'all? Keep it moving. Yeah, this question gonna start a war.
So throw that question. It says, why are you so worried about happily married women? It's a habit. No, I'm just being silly. Kenya, can you speak to Britt kindly and not with an attitude? I didn't write it, I promise. The answer is yes, I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude. I think I have. Yeah, but we're talking about me, sweetheart. Okay. What do you mean, why? I'm on the floor. Okay, you want a moment. Have your moment. This is not a moment. Yeah, it's a big moment. No, you're having a moment. Do you need to step out? I am a moment. So I can speak to everyone. This wasn't about everyone. You want me to read it? Would you like for me to read it? I'm not going to play these childish games. Patience, can I come first, please? That was what? You said peasant? We have all.
Well, you guys, when she called her a peasant, everything went left. Oh my God. Kenya, and that's all Kenya was playing that role. Kenya is an OG. That's all she had to say and leave it like that. After that, she paid her dust. Oh.
Thank you for using my catchphrase. Gotta be a bitch. Miss Britt is doing the absolute most. Girl, what is this energy? Britt is overreacting. Slow down a little bit. It ain't that deep. Let's just stop before we say something that we really don't mean. Thank you so much. Come over here, because it's
So you guys know Britt is gonna overreact with Kenya, right? Kenya called her a peasant, but she threatened it. Pow pow, Kenya, yeah. Yes, she did.
This was everything. Play that shirt on camera. Don't play that with me. Let me take some pictures, though. Do all that fake Hollywood. No, this is real life. This is real life. This is real life. I don't play them type of games. You gonna be respectful. No peasants. You gonna be respectful around here, and if you don't know, you gonna learn today. Today is the day you gonna learn. All these bitches, I don't play this fucking game. Here, you ready for this? Oh, you want now? Yeah. Oh, sure. I'm sitting down. You can drive me. I'm just Daisy. I got you, honey. She's just one of those type of people where she wants to keep poking and being dismissive, being manipulative. What is that? I'm just back here. Where you at? Oh, here she is. She's talking about she's over there. She's talking about I got still got my pistol on me. This girl is a problem. She gotta go. She gotta go for real. Please let her do something to me so she can go. Try mostly. I ain't going nowhere near trouble.
What do you think about Portia's claims and the intense fall?
Yep, unsolving these mysteries of these twins, you guys, found deceased on top of a mountain.
A mystery on Bell Mountain. The bodies of twin brothers found in Towns County near the North Carolina line, 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially investigating this as a murder-suicide, but tonight the family says they're not buying it. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn spoke with them just a few hours ago. He's live for us in our newsroom with more on this investigation and what the family has to say, Cody.
Well, Jennifer, the brothers Kydir and Nazir Lewis were twins. The GBI says a hiker found their bodies at the top of Bell Mountain on Saturday morning. Both had been shot. The family couldn't believe it when they got the call hours later, knowing the twin brothers were supposed to be in Boston visiting friends.
We want answers. We want to know exactly what happened to the twins.
Nazir and Kydir Lewis.
Those my nephews.
Just a few weeks shy of their 20th birthday.
I can get past it, they're gone.
The twins' uncle, Raheem Bronner.
They're very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I can imagine them hurting each other because I never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
The GBI saying their preliminary investigation points to the twins' death being a murder-suicide.
We knew right away that wasn't true.
Family says the twins had a 7 a.m. flight to Boston last Friday.
Right there, we never heard from them. They missed their flight. We don't know what happened.
24 hours later, the twins' body found 90 miles away.
How they end up in the mountains, they don't hike out there. They've never even been out there. They don't know nothing about Hiwassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountains. So how did they end up right there?
A mystery this family is trying to solve.
They had a huge support system. Like, we know them that they wouldn't do anything like this. So to say that they did this to each other when they come from a family of love, and they love each other, they're always together, we don't believe that. They didn't do this to each other. Something happened in those mountains, and we want answers.
I did reach out to the GBI tonight. A spokesperson says the twins' autopsies is finished, but they're awaiting additional forensic testing to be finished, as well as the investigation portion of this before they issue a final ruling on the brothers' causes of death.
This is Buick now.
Okay, you guys, I think that's it for today. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all know I'm trying to get away from that love and marriage, Huntsville. Those people, a lot of those people over there, I'm trying to get away from. It's just so much negativity to it. It blocks me out. When I first came on here, I was just teaching Black history. It was just a few people, but I think I'm just gonna go on and go back to my politics and my Black history. And those of you that's interested, you guys welcome to keep following me. I'm gonna do some updates. Y'all do know that here we go, court update right here. This court update, y'all do know that it's coming up. I always feel a certain kind of way. April the 15th. What does that say? Notice. But anyway, April the 15th, you guys, is the court with it's gonna be on network. Maurice and my lawyer. I don't hardly see, for those of you, y'all know that I just want to clear this, y'all. Anonymous was attacked. The other blogger, the name is Anonymous, has nothing to do with my case. That was those people over there, that panel. Some of them people on that panel started that stuff just to attack that young lady. That young lady sits over there on her channel and just do her content, don't bother anybody. They made that up. They know that was not anonymous. They know that was Anonymous T is not the anonymous that is a victim as well. Now, the other anonymous is a lawyer. She is a victim, you guys. I don't get it. She was a subscriber and a victim. I don't really know her. I've never seen her before neither. These are people off the internet. So I'm just to clear that up, that Anonymous T over there, the young lady, has nothing to do with my case. And y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself starting that mess over there. I know who started it. I'm not gonna call her name. I know who started it, that lie. The girl is innocent. Y'all attacking an innocent young lady, and then had her to lose subscribers. Well, even if so, the other anonymous is a victim. She's a victim of Maurice. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is just, I'm all about peace. This thing with Maurice, we're going this route the legal way. I'm all about peace. I'm not about all this crazy shit that y'all got up here on this internet, trying to make it like as if we are enemies. I'm not nobody enemy up here. Y'all done made me y'all enemy. Ain't nothing I can do about that. But leave that girl alone over there. That anonymous has nothing to do with my case. So Sharita is her name. Sharita McNeil is her name. That's what they say. That's all I see. She's never in the courtroom with us. But she is in touch with the lawyer, with the judge, because the judge say so. That woman is a subscriber. She's a subscriber. She's a victim. Y'all think that what True T was trying to do was started that GoFundMe for all of us. But it just y'all end up trying to make it be something negative for this lady for starting this GoFundMe. And I'd like to thank you guys, my supporters, my subscribers, for helping me out with the lawyer fees. It's been paid in full, y'all. Y'all paid for this second payment that I had to get in there was for OWN Network. The first set of payment that y'all gave was for me and Marie's trial. This one coming up is me and OWN Network trial. And I like to thank y'all for supporting me. And then two, I like to thank y'all. I've had an increase in membership, an increase in everything in the last 28 days. I thank y'all. So I haven't been live in a while because I'm affected by all this nonsense, this craziness. Sometimes when I come on live, these trolls they'll come over here bothering me. I just didn't want to be bothered. But I will keep y'all, the 15 is coming up. Y'all gonna maybe have to be a membership with True T. Don't forget, y'all, it's True T Uncensored. That's her web, and it's nice, you guys. She did her own thing on Angie Stone, man. I was hypnotized on the way she covered Angie Stone over there. Y'all need to go over there and listen to that. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to go. I don't have many of y'all on here because it's not no lot of junk. When I talk about junk, there'll be thousands of y'all up here. But I'm going back to my old self. I'm just gonna do me, and that's the politics. Teach all about the Black history while I'm alive. Now I'm coming on again soon. I'm gonna teach y'all about the Detroit. What happened in 1967? I was in that shit. I was just thrown in there. My house was burnt down. The National Guard was called on us. It was like we was in a Vietnam War over there in Detroit. We had to fight then. And I was just a little girl. I was just thrown in it. I'm going to show y'all my house. I can actually like turn on TV right now and see that they got video of my house being burnt down. It's history over there in Detroit. Now, y'all want to look up 1967 Detroit. 12th Street. I was on 12th and Blaine. That's where it started from, because that's where you got all the fighters at. Those Italians were trying to come in and take over these a lot of those Black people business, y'all. They thought that they still were gonna have a history where they can just come in there and take your business and do what they want to do with you. So we were fighting all you got to do. Fight. And the government don't get involved until we start fighting back. Then all of a sudden, it's a riot. They call it a riot. All right, you guys, we're going to do the 1967 Detroit. It was on my street. My house got burnt down. It was rough. I end up homeless, y'all. And that's how I end up over there in Cleveland with those Black nationalists over there. In Cleveland, they took me and my family in over there. The Black nationalists did. All right, bye. Y'all have a great day. What time is it? It's 3:00 in my neck of the wood. What time is it in your neck of the woods? Oh, yeah, Miss Dinos is on here. I forgot that the content creator, Miss Dinos. Y'all know she's a content creator. She was on here. And I'd like to thank her for being here. Even any other content creator that I didn't know or don't mention, thank y'all for being here. Thank all of y'all for being here. Miss V. Jackson, thank you so much for supporting me. You always support me, regardless of what content I have. Miss V. Jackson. Oh, Cece, I hadn't saw her in a while. Thank you for being here, Miss Cece. And to y'all content creator, I don't care where y'all be at. I'm not like that. I know y'all just want to see content. Just because you go over there to Miss Tay talk don't mean you can't come over here to me. I know y'all just want to see content, and that's all I'm about. I'm not about you can't go over there if you're over here with me. Go where you want to go. You know, I know y'all just want to hear content. That's what y'all want to do. I'm not holding that against y'all. But don't forget April the 15th, you guys. And thank y'all. I can feel relaxed knowing that the lawyer is paid in full, and you guys did that. Thank y'all. So I'll be there April the 15th with boots on the ground. Yeah, we will be live. It's Toot Latrice. Hey, Toot Latrice, how are you? I'm getting ready to go. You got to take a replay. When I just did a little Black history, a little politics in the community. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Thank you for being here. And you guys, I tell y'all, stay encouraged, okay? Stay encouraged. And we got to continuously teach our children about their history. We got to teach our children to fight, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all going to get mad at me, but quit getting mad at other people because they're not a Democrat. Y'all, this new generation, if you're a Republican and you're a Democrat, y'all get mad at each other. Y'all stop that. I remember when we were growing up, some of us were Martin Luther King followers, some of us were Malcolm X followers, some of them were Republicans, some of us were Democrat, but we still loved each other. We loved each other. We knew that we were fighting this battle. And these young kids, I'm going to tell you what they told me. 400 years of this. No, they tired. What's taking y'all so long, Grandma? I'm going to sit at that table at the Republican office. Yeah, I might not agree with what the Republicans say, but somebody got to sit at that table when they're making decisions for us. That's why they can make all these decisions over there. Everybody white over there. You get mad if your brother want to go over there and sit at that table and change shit. So let these young folks go sit at that table over there at the Republican office and be there. And I see it so much, even at the United Nations, when they're making up laws against us, they're making up laws and not one of us is there. They put out all these rules, these stories, this history about us, because not one person there that looked like you there to change the narrative. So they put out what they want. So quit being mad at people because they say they Republican. And Republicans, y'all quit being mad at your people because they say they Democrat. It's more than one way to skin the cat. We got to come out and be suckers. We got to come from all views and all areas. Just because I am an independent. I often believe that if 99% of us can vote Democrat, which ain't did nothing for us, I know y'all finna get mad at me. We can start our own party. Start a party what we can do for ourselves. Y'all just think back then, Black Wall Street, 1800, 1700, 1600. We were building our own community. We had our own everything. Because what? We were not interested in politics. I'm going to tell y'all look at most of these Asians. They're not interested in politics. They do group economic. It's money that talks. Group economic is what we need to be about. And on that note, I'm gone, y'all. I'm finna go ahead and get me something to eat. And I'm gonna come to y'all. Y'all might have it in a history book about what happened in 1967, but I was there. I'm gonna tell y'all the real reason we had the Detroit riot. Good night. Bye, y'all. Have a great day. Put my dancers back on. What's that? Miss Latoot, what'd she say? Earth Journey, you have to go to your YouTube studio setting and community. Oh, thank you, babe. All right, thank you. I know what you're talking about. Thank you. I'll fix that. Okay, thank you, because I did not know I made a mistake and took that young lady off. I pushed the wrong button. I wasn't trying to do that. Okay, let me put y'all dancing on. Let the dancer take y'all on out of here. Oh, yeah, for that lady wanting to send me that fan, they closed my darn post office box down, y'all. I forgot it was over there. I ain't paid them in so long till they closed it down. All right. Have a great day.
All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, y'all. Let's do a little work about let's look at y'all.
don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band, it's like, oh,